Brandon, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm so good. I can't tell you how good I am. I'm really like I feel so it feels illegal to feel this good. I can't even tell you.
Okay. Well, anyway, Brandon, it was very nice to see your journey on the show and happy to hear that things are going well today. Could you tell us a little bit about the whole experience with Tribal Council going into last night? Did you know it was going to be you? Did they tell you?
They people it was never like an explicit you are leaving tonight, but I could kind of tell. I went in like 60-40 that it was probably me. And then as tribal council progressed, I got some like pushback from Sean on things I said. I got pushback from Zabaya, who didn't have a vote, but I knew was kind of controlling what was happening. So I like when I give my Jeff answer, when Jeff is like, what does this experience mean to you? It's 95% sure I'm leaving. Like I made sure I got my 2 cents in. Like Emily, I didn't even realize Emily got the same question because I wasn't listening because I was just thinking about my answer. So I'm glad that I said exactly what I wanted to say. I went back and forth in my head about whether I should like be like, oh, I'm coming back, so it doesn't matter what like doing one of those to like kind of. But I was like, listen, if I don't go back, I'm going to regret not giving a
Is there
speech. So
anything that you could have said differently that would have changed anybody's opinion?
I could have said that there's a Planet Fitness a couple blocks from here. I can go work out and then I'll be back in the no. There's nothing. I think that it was a done deal. I think that this is it was pretty much like they really structured the episode beautifully in terms of like it is strength versus loyalty. I was no question really struggling in the challenges, and Emily was just kind of having a tough time in the actual camp itself. So I think that they made the decision that they thought would benefit them at the time. And again, like I wanted to hug everybody after I left. There were zero hard feelings. We had a great time. And again, I could not the Lulu tribe is there are a lot of memes. It's the best tribe ever. I mean, I couldn't have asked for five better people to do this with.
All right. Well, I think that your tribe has entered into historic territory because I don't know if there's another tribe in the history of the show that has gone 5 days without fire. I'm pretty sure that you might know better than me.
Yeah.
How much is that actually taking a toll on how this tribe is doing?
Well, you know what? It's not necessarily the fire as much. It's just like there's no win. And the no win is harder than the no fire. I mean, granted, we couldn't cook anything. Like that sucks. We weren't particularly warm, which is awful. But it was just so demoralizing to just like lose. Like there's no like we had so much fun. We were laughing every night. We were making the best of the situation. But at a certain point, it's like when you lose the first day, you're happy, and then but it progressed slower and slower into like, oh my God, like we're all smiling. We would walk into challenges and we'd all be pumping each other up, and then we all be looking at each other like we're not going to win. Right? Like we're not. This probably isn't going to go. We got to be prepared for worst case. So it's I mean it is very hard, but we trucked along. Again, we benefit from having like six really funny people. Like with the Lulu tribe, we're comedy wise, we're batting 1,000. So that definitely helps in this situation.
I was pretty surprised that you were the one that ended up going on the journey for the Lulu tribe because I felt like that in the preseason, you said that you would not want to go and do that. So, how did you end up in that position?
I asked because I figured I was probably leaving. I figured like it's good for the camera. I just wanted to like see what the journey was like. I wanted to not go on the journey because I didn't want to like put the target or whatever. I knew it was probably going to be me. If we lost the next time, or Emily. So I figured, why not just try it? Why not just go and see what happens? And I had a great time. I got to fall again, which is great.
It
If
was a
you're going
great
to go to the
fall.
journey, why don't you fall? So I had, it was very, very fun. I got to meet Bruce from season 44. You
Yeah.
ever see Bruce? Great. Drew's great. So it was a fun time.
I was thinking that if you did ultimately get the puzzle right and you got the safety without power advantage, would you have used it at that tribal council last night?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I would have hit the road. And I would have done the tribal exact same way. I would have said everything that I needed to say, and then just in like the surprise. I wonder retrospectively if lying to everybody when I got back was a better move. But really, at that point, I figured I was probably in danger. But I thought Emily was before me. Like I had no indication really at that point that like. I mean, I figured if we lost the challenge and it was my fault, that it would be highly me, but it felt very much at that point 4 against 1. So I figured that like telling everybody the truth, it was like telling my alliance and Emily the truth. So
All right,
it was great.
Brandon, go back to the last tribal council. Can you tell us what was going to happen before Hannah decided to quit the game?
That was Emily. Emily would have gone at that tribal council. I think going in, it wasn't Hundo P. Emily. I think there was still this guy on the table, but I think at the tribal council, both Emily calling out Sabayat and Caleb, there was a lot of back and forth that wasn't shown. I think Emily was just kind of digging herself deeper and deeper in. So I went there prepared to vote for Emily, and then we did not vote for. We did not
Yeah.
do that.
Were you shocked when Hannah said that she wanted to leave, or had she told you that she may want to quit the game
She had told me, and she, by the way,
at tribal council? Yeah, I know she had been talking about it.
no. She told me beforehand. She
Yeah.
told me right before we left. She was like, She just kept saying, like, why can't it be me? I'm hungry. I'm tired. And like, it came off very, like, to me, Courtney Yates. Like, it very much is like, this is somebody who clearly is out of her element. But right before we left for tribal, I'm like, listen, not only do I need you, because we were like this the first 3 days. I mean, she's the best person in the world. I still maintain that. When I got back, I texted my casting person. I was like, thank you for casting me. Thank you for casting Hannah. Like, I can't get a better person. But I was like, I need you. But not only that, you can win. Like, she has it to win. And again, I respect her decision 100%. She did what was best for her, for sure. She's the best person ever, and I can't speak highly enough about her. But yeah, that situation was, I had gotten some insight, and even still going into tribal council, I wasn't sure that she was going to do it, and she did it.
So we found out last week that Kendra visited your tribe before you went to the first tribal council. Can you tell us a little bit more about what it was like when Kendra came to your camp?
Yes. So she pulled up, and we were all sitting in the water talking about the immunity challenge. And then she explained why she was there. And then she kind of did one-on-ones with everybody, talked. Her and I had a really nice conversation about panic attacks. She very much empathized with my barge situation, which was super nice. And then she was, mixing and wheeling and dealing and making alliances. She was doing the thing. At
But why?
all.
What, how wheeling and dealing? Like, why was she having meetings like she's the HOH?
So she had a vote in the tribal council. They ultimately didn't show. So she
But
could
did you
vote.
know that?
I did not know that. So she had only told selected people that. So I didn't realize that. So I thought she was just observing. I had learned later on that she had a vote. She actually, I believe she voted for me. And I think the situation there was, and I'm not sure if I have the details, Hundo P, on this, but I believe that in the event that Emily played something and then was correct, there would be one vote on me, which is, again, like, you kind of, you
Mhm.
get it. But she was mixing it up. And then she was just doing one-on-ones with everybody. I was looking for a Prilosec. I wasn't really in my head, wasn't in game at that point, but she's great. She's the best.
Okay, so you talked about your reflux in the last episode, and you said that that you weren't feeling well, and you were going to play your shot in the dark. Why the shot in the dark in that scenario?
It's a great question. I
Why didn't you
felt
give it to Sabaya?
I I love giving. You wouldn't believe how much I love giving things this way. I was after the tribal council, or after the challenge rather. I felt very much like I was the reason for the loss. And then watching it back, I don't think I was. Caleb and Sabaya were really, really good at the wall. The other four of us objectively were not. Like, all four of us were bad. They show my hard fall. I think just because it's a funny fall, like, it's a good fall. It's a great, 10 out of 10 fall. But we were all struggling there. And I went back. I was in so much pain. And I was just like, you never go full Gabler. I full Gabler. I was like, listen, I feel like I was responsible, and it didn't, it was a 5-minute ordeal. It was not like a long standing thing. I said to Caleb and Spy, who I felt really good about, other than Hannah, I thought they were the three that I felt the best about. I said, I'm going to play my shot in the dark. I feel very guilty. I feel like I lost this for us. And then they were like, don't do that. Like, it's dumb. And I was like, oh, you're right. It is. And then we didn't ever talk about it again. So that was, I just, it was a moment of weakness. I was in my bag a little bit, and then we trucked through. So I thank them for not thinking that I'm, totally just somewhere else. I mean, and I
Okay.
was, but thank
Okay. So then in the episode, you actually did find an idol. You said, I know where these idols are found. I know how to do this. And then you backed up the talk. You found it. But then you said, okay, Sabaya, you take it. Do you feel like that helped you or hurt you in any way to pass off having the beware advantage to Sabaya?
I think that Sabaya is such a brilliant social player. I left thinking, like, I played with like a survivor great. Sabaya. She is so good at making you feel like this. And after Hannah had left, I had already felt great about Sabaya and Caleb, but I wanted Sabaya to be my number one. People theorize online, like, what if you give the beware advantage? What if you give it to Emily, right? What if you give it to Emily and then we tell everybody that Emily has it, and then Emily goes home because she doesn't have a vote. We all plan it, what have you. Like, this was not that situation. I liked Sabaya, and I wanted to be Sabaya's vote. I end up losing my vote. It's a whole other situation. But I want it to be Sabaya's vote. I'm like, you take this, and let's You have it. I know we're gonna look for it together. I'll even get on my knees for you to climb me and climb the like. I was in it. And then I lost my boat an hour and a half later, which is it's a different separate
Yeah.
situation. But it was good intention.
Brandon, did you have a sense that Emily had this turnaround around camp? And was there anything that you could have done to subvert that?
I could tell, and I think maybe I can tell now retroactively, but even in the moment, it was like that she got PR training. It was like she took a class, like an online thing the night before. Like she was so much better. I told the story of the first day. We're all talking about like our music taste, whatever, and Emily's like, I don't like music. And then we're all like, "What do you mean?" And then she's like, what do you listen to in the car?" She says, "I don't listen to anything in the car." Like, and we're like, "Oh, okay." So this is those things. That's Emily, and that's why we all love Emily. Emily's the best. I mean, she's the best person. Day 4 and 5, it was less of that, and she was really like, you could tell that she was putting in a lot more effort on the social side, and she's great at it. She's really, really great at it.
Okay, you went on the journey with Drew and Bruce. Drew said that he felt like, okay, Bruce, he's holding his cards too close. Not a good game move. Did you also have that takeaway about Bruce when you went to the journey with him?
I believe I did. I knew that everything that I was saying was beneficial to me. I think just saying that Emily was a target, I wanted to make it known to Bruce that we thought Emily calling out Bruce was a little bit much. Like I wanted to tell Bruce that. I think that was the only thing that I said. And Bruce, responded to that. And then Bruce, yeah, was very noticeably cagey. Like he was just like, not saying anything. And I don't believe that Drew said anything super insightful either. I think he just said we're all getting along. I wanted to I knew I was coming from a position where barge, like people want to know that I'm in it. So I just wanted to give something that I was in it. But and I stand by that. I think that was good. But yeah, Bruce was giving nothing.
You're such a great storyteller. Can you tell us one thing that happened that we didn't get to see from Lulu?
From Lulu. The first night, our shelter, the worst in Survivor history. I think Emily says that. But we got the raft.
Worse than Rupert? Come on.
You know what? Rupert's at least like
Go
had a
back, go back.
roof. We didn't have a we got the boat that they give you to go paddle out, and we put it in our shelter. So we slept in it, and like it's an awful boat. Google the boat; it's a bad boat. And we kept saying like we put the boat in the house, and now we're cursed. Like it is we don't win because we're sleeping on the boat. It was so funny because the five or the six of us at that point are like saying, "Oh yeah, the boat's a good idea." Like it's a catastrophically bad idea, but we tried our best.
Okay. Brandon, any final thoughts you want to make sure people know?
You have changed my life beyond what I can tell you. I can't believe that I get to be on this with you. I've been listening to you since your literal first podcast. The idea that I get to do any of this is crazy. You have connected me with so many friends and family now in your community. I cannot thank you enough for just giving me the best thing that's ever happened to me. Really.
Well, I appreciate that so much. You're too kind. I'm happy that you had the experience that you got and the one that you were searching for. So really great to talk to you today, Brandon.
Oh, always, buddy. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Here, let me ring the bell for you. Okay. All right.
We got a lot more of this coming.
Okay, you got it. All right, Brandon. I know you got a lot of press today. So thanks for making some time. And again, hope you're doing great.
You're the best. We'll talk soon.